We just announced today an exciting partnership with Shopify. But before I get into that, let me talk a little bit about the history of why we're at the place we are in terms of commerce on Twitter today. So we've spent the last year really trying to understand the consumer behaviors around shopping on the platform. And we've actually found that there have been over 56 billion tweets about shopping on the platform, that there are 2 times the amount of replies per a tweet that is talking about a product or shopping. And that ultimately we see that 3 out of 4 people purchase off of a tweet about a product. So those consumer insights and understanding that there are help wanted signs help to guide our roadmap for how we think about shopping and commerce today. A part of that starts with making sure that we're enabling a merchant or a brand or a business to establish a presence on the platform. Then we want to make sure that products can be effectively showcased. And then we want to make sure that businesses and merchants can promote those offerings to all the different people that are on the platform today. So the way that Shopify fits in is that now through Shopping Manager, which allows you to easily access all of our different tools to easily sell to people, what Shopify allows us to do is access the 1,500 plus merchants in the US to really quickly upload their catalogs and start connecting with the very valuable audience that is Twitter.
The intersection of social and commerce seems really intuitive, but I would imagine that there's some technological barriers to kind of making that happen. How are you guys addressing those challenges?
So the intersection between social and commerce is very much a real trend. I would put a third trend on that makes a really interesting triangulation, which is live. So what we've seen over the last couple of years, and I would say a part of that was promoted and proliferated as a result of the pandemic and the consumer behavior shifting both to virtual shopping and ultimately live experiences. When you think of Twitter as a platform, Twitter is what's happening in the world and what people are talking about. But it is also real time, it's public, it's live, and it's globally distributed. So now what we see with shopping and with social and with commerce is that people are conversing around products. They want to be able to shop about those products, but then we have creators and influencers working with brands to be able to broadcast live all the different offerings that a Walmart might have or Samsung might have. We actually just recently did a live shopping event with Samsung where we had over 12 million viewers, which was actually the largest event we have ever had on the platform and extremely successful for the brand.
It's like the evolution of HSN back in the day. So you talked about some trends, you talked about your partnership with Shopify. Is there anything else that you're excited about in terms of the intersection of these 2 trends happening on Twitter?
Well, I think the power of Twitter is that it brings people together to be able to find and share the topics that they care about. And those topics that they care about also are products, right? And that is the thing that I think is so special, is that they want to talk about products today, but they also want to learn about what's next. So one of the things that we also recently launched in the last 2 weeks is something called product drops. And I like to say our commerce strategies goes from shops to drops. So you can easily pin a shop that has 50 of your favorite products from your catalog on your profile, but then you can also leverage our product drops product, which allows you to sort of tap into this cultural norm around dropping products or teasing products or just waiting until the date that something is actually launched. Now this solution allows you to do that as a merchant. You can actually drop that next bag that you're excited about. If I'm a person who is really into Christian Dior, I'm going to be like, oh my gosh, I need to set that reminder in order to be able to take advantage of it and not lose it before the inventory runs out.
So we're here with She Runs It, which is an organization that is focused on empowering women through every aspect and every phase of their career. Today we're talking about purpose. How do you define purpose, Sarah?
I define purpose as being the thing that moves you gutturally inside that you know is going to help change the world. And that is a different value system, I think, for every single person. For me, my value system is based on integrity and it's based on kindness and fairness. And so when I find purpose, it's that I know I am doing work and I am building relationships that are grounded in those 3 values. It's really important for people at every stage of their career, in their professional life and in their personal life, to define what those values are so that they have clarity around what that purpose is.
I love what you said about sort of defining what it is for you. Our industry is fast. It's a lot about fame. It can be very cutthroat. Do you have any thoughts or advice for someone who might be trying to reconcile purpose with being in advertising?
My first advice is don't get into advertising if you want to be famous. That's just, it really is plain and simple. This is not why I do what I do. I hope this is not the reason why people have joined this industry. Advertising and marketing ultimately helps people decide the choices that they're going to make from a value perspective, certainly from a purchase perspective, but it also helps to change and drive culture. And that is the reason I wake up each and every day and do what I do. It's the reason why I walk out my door or walk upstairs in this current world, leaving my two little boys behind, is because I want to make sure that I'm appropriately contributing to how cultural change and cultural movement shifts. And that's where I think the industry, especially over the last 10 years, we've seen incredible work from really defining who's behind the camera, who's in front of the camera, what are the social norms that we need to be able to speak up and speak out about as brands and as businesses and as platforms. So my last remaining advice is don't get into this business if you want to be famous.